Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, Traders Pro. Market conditions remaining mildly bearish in a bull market, which is essentially a pullback in an overall uptrend. This bull market, which has definitely had some legs here, sitting at that 13.72 level. Here on this chart, you can see it's towards the upper end of that range. So we're dealing with that. And we're dealing with a really strong rally here. And now the last couple of weeks, we're pulling back into some support areas. I've got a little bit of a data issue on the short-term indicator. They're not overlapping, so we'll look at them here individually. We've got momentum, which is pulled back to the halfway point now, and it's attempting a support level that it's been at before, but it is starting to lose here to the other side. So we'll see if we continue that range back down to some support areas. But we've now got this support area on momentum. So we'll see, and we're seeing right on that line back down to a downtrend, a bearish downtrend. So things are a little bit precarious right here at these levels, and we want to see a bounce or some continuation to the downside, but it's just sitting right at this range. Breadth also stuck right in the middle of that trend, and sentiment still relatively complacent right at these levels. Buy-sell ratio, which is also bearish, as I do draw this line right here and see what our bias is currently. And so as we're moving this direction, we've got more sells than we do buys, and that buy-sell ratio is currently at 0.49, so almost 2-to-1 to the downside in terms of sells. If you can see that small little number, that's 25.10, and to the downside, and 12.18 to the upside. So we're seeing, and it's not extreme yet, but it could be building some momentum. This other sentiment location, this is essentially the chart that we were looking at earlier with sentiment, where we have this retracement. Now we're breaking through that halfway point where it had been finding some support. So we'll see if we bounce today or at these levels. It's at a location where we certainly could, but we're also seeing some acceleration to the downside. Let's take a look at those Dow stocks. We had, I believe we were 12 on Friday, back down to 11, and so we'll see this range of 13 here. Banks, Intel, Merck, IBM, some of these stocks which have been in uptrends are having pullbacks, stuck in that hold range now. Let's see on our buy-sell ratio. We've also got NASDAQ 100, which is now less than 1. We've got S&P 100 less than 1, the Dow Composite less than 1, and where's our S&P 500 as a total? So 0.68 buy-sell ratio on S&P 500. So all of these just confirming the weakness at this point, not significantly, but we are seeing some acceleration. So we want to keep an eye on that. When that happens, again, market conditions, what that means is these are not ideal market conditions, which essentially is controlling the position size of the portfolio. So that means not aggressively adding into new positions, waiting to see if we get any confirmation back towards the upside, tightening up stop losses on your winners, getting rid of losers. So it's a kind of a portfolio clean out opportunity, and keep an eye on, obviously keep an eye on new things that are working as you have a chance to fill any empty spots in a portfolio that you may be managing. CABA, this has been a stock that's been in and out of scans now for a while. It had a really big run last year and early in the year, retraced, and has some volatility right here, and then just really tight. It's been sitting inside of this range. You can see how much support is sitting right here. It's been bouncing off this area now for 2 or 3 months with multiple points of touch all along here. It's a pretty significant support area. Now we've got a new confirmation bar back up. It's a medical biotech. Don't know much about it other than it does show up in a lot of scans. So if you want to do more homework on an individual stock, obviously there's lots of locations you can do. Click on this drop down. We link out to some other sites as well, so you can take a look at any other perspectives as you're looking at stocks if you choose, or even gaining more news. This links out to Yahoo, so you can actually see some more company information, where they're at, what they do, what they're looking at. Particularly since it's a biotech stock, they are those are high risk stocks because oftentimes you're dealing with an FDA approval. It's a pending approval. The drug's not necessarily on the open market yet, so there's just a lot of factors that go into medical stocks and biomedical stocks for consideration in terms of what the company does and if that's a decision that is going to sway your investment choice. AKRO, another medical bio, not a fantastic looking chart. Kind of some volatility, variability there. Evolve, EVLV, nice confirmation breakout, huge move, 31%, which always makes it tough for that new entry. But we've seen a lot of these when they do break out and they get some continuations and some momentum, and that's what we're looking for. The only issue with that is when it gets extreme and it has a big pop on that confirmation bar day, it makes it for a little tougher risk management for stop loss because oftentimes you see kind of a relief sell-off after a big run, so it pops back down, comes all the way back down again, and that creates and in this case, that could be 10, 15, 20% retracement if it just needs to pull back and retest this area. So keep an eye on that, give it a day or two, and see if it pauses a little bit and pulls back into that buy range. It may not. Some of these just really take off and keep going. PAM was one of the best looking stocks on the list today. Nice confirmation bar, 4% utility stock. We saw some support and a bounce back here, and now moving back up into this momentum range. Nice looking risk profile here in terms of new trend and the confirmation bar not being aggressive to the upside. That was PAM. LYTS, also another kind of an ugly looking choppy chart here, but you can see a little bit more context when we go out. Had a really nice trendy move, and it's just really been struggling. Lots of false breakouts here on this stock before it gathers and gains some momentum. May want to wait for some additional confirmation since you have that context of this overall really long, ugly looking base pattern for it to get up above that and then consider that moving higher. So, several decent stocks. Actually, some of the better looking stocks were a little bit deeper in the list. ORIC, $8 stock, big move, 10% move on some confirmation to the upside. BMI also with a really tight consolidation and an attempted breakout. We'll see, I say attempted breakout just because we don't have the confirmation yet. It hasn't broken out above this area. And oftentimes that if you do get, it starts to clear up into these areas, then you don't have anybody that's been selling or anybody that has been buying back here that wants to sell back again. It's fresh new demand to that upside. We'll see if that ends up happening. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day.